Sunday afternoon, graduate racing. We're on the start line. We're waiting for the gun to go. Now when you're doing this, you need to be going up and down the line. I wouldn't get too close to it. It gets a bit frenetic if we're not careful. But you're needing to look to see how the line is biased. This one's a very, very much a port start. But I'm now looking to see what the other boats are doing. I'm looking for a gap, but I'm also trimming my boat, trimming the kicking strap and also the rig tension. Now I found a bit of a gap here, so I'm coming up behind Charlie. We're getting towards the start. You can see Charlie has eased off, let go of the jib. He's slowing his boat down. We're getting towards the start, and I'm just holding station, just keeping that gap there so that we've got some free air when we start. Now I'm just accelerating a bit. We're getting towards the start, and then when the gun goes, Charlie looks like he's going to attack as well. I'm going to go too, and off we go. Now he's a little bit further out. He's got a bit better wind than I have, but we're still in a very good position. We're going up to sea, which is just behind that patrol boat. Charlie is still ahead. I'm crossing tacks with him. Now I'm on starboard, and then we've crossed tacks a couple more times, but he does get to sea first. Now I've got two choices. I can either follow him, or the better idea is to tack now round sea, get some clear air, hopefully get a lift so that we can get into A, which is just in the middle between those two taller trees, and hopefully catch him up, get closer to him. Now, from my point of view, it's not so good. Charlie's actually got a lift as well. He's sailing a bit freer, nice and flat, keeping the boat moving, and he's making his way to A, and he's going to get there first. Now, as he nears the mark, he starts to bear away and goes down onto the run, and we follow him round. Now, because it was so dire on the runs, I've cut that bit out, and we've gone down to F. We've got the jibe mark. We're now sort of fetching across the bottom of the lake because it is a southwesterly. Charlie's got a reasonable amount of wind. He's got a nice lift up around H, keeping himself going around H. Very nicely done. Now, when we get there, we get headed, the wind drops, everything stops. We've hardly got any way on at all. The two boats behind, Rob and Sally, Roger and Sarah Jane, catching us up like mad. In fact, Rob and Sally have sailed round us and are now beating up the lake. They've got windward boat station, and Roger and Sarah Jane are just behind us. Now we're trading tacks all the way up the lake. I'm now going to go across away from the trees, try to get a little bit of free air. I'm picking my way through the other boats, looking ahead to see where they are so that we don't get tangled up with them. Even though we're on starboard, it's still better to try to avoid the other boats. It's much quicker not to get involved with them. Okay, the wind's dropped a little bit. Everybody's sort of sitting there wondering what to do. I think we'll tack, see if we can get some air further out. As soon as we tack, of course, we get headed. It's Chipstead for you. Tack back again. Rob's making his way up very slowly, same as all the rest of us, up to C. Now he gets round C first, but as he gets round C, he then gets a mighty header and bears away. I decide to keep going. I'm on the other side of the gust and get a bit of a lift, which he doesn't get. Roger's just to windward of us. He gets a bit of a lift as well, so we're just going into to A. Caught Charlie up nicely. We're jibing round, heel the boat nicely so that it takes itself round as well, won't have to use too much rudder. Roger follows us in, but you can see the effect of that header on Rob. It's really put him a long way back, and he's now struggling a bit to catch us up. Now we've got right down to the bottom of the lake again. The run was not very interesting, and we're beating our way back up again. Now I'm doing exactly the wrong thing. I'm following Charlie. I should have tacked, got clear air, got across to the south shore. Everything's stopped here. We're just really sitting there. We've got a little bit of clear air here, but you can see we're just moving a bit. Now the wind's beginning to pick up again, and we're trading tacks now with the Firefly. Now although we're on the starboard, it's actually better to let him go, because that way I can run my own race. I'm not controlled by him at all. But as you can see, here comes Roger. He's chosen the south side. He's got a lovely lift up the south shore, and then he gets round C first. We get slowed up by the Heron and the Firefly. We had to really slow down to go back round behind them. I couldn't get between them and the mark, so we had to slow up. I've now tacked between them, and again, a bit of a slow one down the run, so we've just gone right down to the bottom of the lake again. Now we're beating up for the last time, trying to avoid the other boats. We're on port, they're on starboard. We've caught up Gilly and Howard. I'm just freeing off a little bit. You can see Roger's finished, he's in the middle of the lake. Just freed off a little bit, borne away, got some speed on, and gone inside, and there we're there.